Nicky, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, man. So are you, what part of France? Are you just in Paris?
No, I'm in Normandy.
Normandy. Okay, okay.
Normandy, yeah.
Got it. And and I apologize. Give me some knowledge about Normandy because I think that it does play a role in World War II. That's the extent of my knowledge, at least.
Get it right. That's where it all happened, when all the Americans and the English, all the Australian, everyone, just get to Normandy to actually to freedom to deliver the French people. That's what happened.
Got it. Okay. And it's like a little after 3:30 in the afternoon as you're recording, and over here in the US where we are, I'm in Vermont, Andrew's in New York State. It's 9:44 in the morning. So this time difference thing is like it's like mine.
Can you still not too tired?
No, we're good. We're good. I mean, I'm sort of a morning person. I don't know about you, Andrew. Are you more of a night person?
I am not a morning person at all.
Usually you get up like around what time?
Typically, I wake up around 10 or 11.
10, 11. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Damn. I wake up like around 7 for work. And I woke up at 7 this morning. So I'm a little bit of an earlier riser when I have to do stuff, but if I don't have to do anything, then I'm usually sleeping until like 9:30 or 10.
9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's so okay. Yeah. Me, I used to be like a late person, but like since quite a little while now, like around something like 7, 8 maximum, except
Got
when
it.
I go out late, of course, I'm going to sleep like a little later. But normally, yeah, like around between 7 and 8.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, that's great. So yeah, thank you for so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. So yeah, we noticed that you have an appearance on season 8, episode 1 of Family Matters. This is Paris Vacation, and in addition to your own backstory and other parts of your career, how did you get that particular role? Because correct me if I'm wrong, in the scene where Stefan and Laura are sort of strolling through Paris, they come across a photo shoot and some French guys are fighting over like whose light has been stolen or whose spotlight was stolen. Were you one of the guys that was in that fight?
Yeah, I'm the one who's complaining, because I get the other guy, another fashion model, take my, the light. And that's why, yeah, I'm the one. And, because that's very strange. You remind me, I totally forgot, that I was, that I did that little part. And in the Family Matters at the time, it was like, it's like almost like 30 years ago now, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like 25,
And,
26 years ago. Yeah.
I don't remember exactly who introduced me, to get the part. But at the time, I was also a stunt coordinator, specialized on fighting, and that's why I get the part. And the whole fight scene, I directed the fight scene, at the same time. So that's why,
Wow.
but, who gave me the job at the time, I just don't remember.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
so long ago, but yeah, that's what happened at the time because I'm not doing it anymore, not like I used to. I'm doing it sometime working as a stunt coordinator and a fight coordinator, just once in a while now, more for like video games. But yeah, I used to. That was my second job, in the movies industry.
And how did you like? What about stunt coordinating makes you think, okay, this is something that I have to get into as well as acting and modeling?
Oh, because at the time, all the proposal, the propositions of what they wanted to me to be part of, it was like some stupid characters, some stupid roles, and for sitcoms and stuff, not like Family Matters, because Family Matters, was quite, like a good one and very famous at the time. But so I was expecting more roles, but more interesting roles. So that's why I just totally improvised myself as a stunt coordinator because I was doing martial arts and fighting since I was a kid, and I knew that I had that kind of skills. So I didn't have like someone who for me as a stunt coordinator. I just improvised, and I said, yeah, I can do it. And people trust me somehow. So that's why, I got into the job as a fight choreographer and a stunt coordinator just because I told people that I was able to do it. And some people trust me, so that's why, I got into that, um, discipline just because, yeah, I was waiting and until, they give me something more interesting, as an actor.
Mm. And what made you get into, you're talking about your martial arts background. What made you get into that world? Because I was reading into your story about your parents pretty much being on the run for a lot of their lives. What was this? Was it sort of like a self-defense thing that you had in you, where it's like, oh, just in case something happens, I need to have these skills? Like, where did that interest in martial arts come from?
Oh, well, I'm gonna go deeply in my private life, I guess, but like you probably right, my father, he was like a soldier, and then he turned as a gangster.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, he left France to go to Mexico for a few years and then finally to Canada. So that's why I'm Canadian, No, either of my parents, they are Canadians, except that they spent like more than 20 years, in Mexico and Canada. And for some reasons, my father was hurt, from the war, from all the crazy life that he had. And he started like to be a little violent, with my mom and I. So that's why I had to defend myself. And we even fought, with my father at the time. And rest in peace, because my both parents and everyone died, and I forgive, because I could understand why. Because my father was a very cool man, very gentleman, except that he had like some very, very heavy life. So, and that's why, and mostly when you drink, you get stupid. When you take drugs, you get stupid. And that's what happened, with my dad, When he was like normal, he was like a super cool man, and very strong and very smart and very, 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 let's say, But as soon as he was drinking, he was like so fucking stupid. I'm sorry for my French.
No, you're good. You're good.
He was like just turning, some sort of crazy. So every time I was scared, and finally I decided to defend myself. And the best way, was to learn how to, do the martial arts and the boxing. And that's what I did.
Yeah, yeah. So to just give some context for someone who listening, this is something that you can find on your IMDb under Nicky. How do you pronounce your last name? Naude?
No, it's supposed to be Naude because there is like a little accent, on the E, at the end of my name.
Got it. So
Naude. Naude, but like in America, most of the people, they call me like Naude or something, Nicky Naude.
Yeah.
It's very exotic, Nicky Naude. So you want to dance. Feel like you want to dance. It's that kind of name.
Yeah, it's very infectious like that. I like that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, according to your IMDb, Nicky Naude, so you're the son of a Controni mafia gangster / government rebel / veteran soldier of World War II in Indochina. Your father was half French, half Italian, escaped to Mexico after robbing a bank, where his wife, your mother, became a successful model and actress. So did you, like, your acting and model aspirations, did you get some of that from your mother?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. When she was starting to be like kind of big, in Mexico. And then finally, for some reasons, I'm not going to go too deeply, like in details, but let's say that my father, did something wrong in Mexico. So they had to leave. And she also had to leave her career, in Mexico as a model, and the first steps, that she was doing as an actress. And I think she really suffered, about all that. And then I probably carry something of my mother, my back somehow. And I also decided to revenge my mom somehow, to be an actor, to be part of the industry. So yeah, she was like a big, big inspiration to me. Course, yeah.
Was she able to see your success? And if so, how did she react to it?
No, not really. Just like my because I did modeling. What a coincidence,
Yeah.
Because somebody proposed me when I was, I just had my European kickboxing title. And someone on the street, say, hey, I had my long hair. You should be a model. I said, what? I was doing my boxing and already I wanted to be an actor. And that person said, yeah, but you're good looking or whatever, you should be a model. I said, hey, why not? But that was so funny because it was as I was walking really on my mother's tape, and it was like on purpose, that was crazy. So that's what I did. She saw me, getting into the fashion industry, and she knew already that I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a director, fighting choreographer, whatever, But she died, like the same year, I was getting into all that. So she couldn't see some sort of success. I don't know, but I'm still here doing what I do, and what I like to do.
Yeah.
Which is already some sort of success, It's even more than a success. It's a miracle. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I think you had touched on this earlier. Your parents and you guys fled to Montreal. Can you tell me about like your dad, his club experience managing Chez Claret? Apparently, you spent time with Jacques Mesrin during that time. Like, what was that like?
Well, I was a kid, I was a little boy at the time. So I don't know exactly, but that's what I heard from him. You have to understand that, like I said, it's still like my mom, both of them, because even my mom, died from alcohol, actually. So both, they were drinking. They were like in some sort of mutual pain, let's say. And my dad, when he was drinking, he was talking by himself all night. So I couldn't sleep. But he was telling all the different stories about the Second World War, the Indochina, the Vietnam, Indochina, the time, right before the American, get into the Vietnam, but Indochina, it's exactly the same thing. And he was talking about also the mafia, the gangster stories and stuff. So that's the only souvenirs that I have, it's when my dad was, talking about it by himself, all night. Every time he was drunk, he was talking about all that. So that's all the souvenirs that I have, to be concrete, because I wasn't there. Well, I was there, but I was a little boy. When we left Canada, when they decided, and that was a big mistake, to come back in France, because their life, was in North America, not in France no more. After 20 years, you're not even French no more. So for the souvenirs that I had, it was, and sometimes, but it was very hard to talk straight to my dad, because he was that kind of person, not shy, but very discreet somehow, He didn't feel like to talk about his whole, life story or whatever. But sometimes that happened, mostly when he got very old and he was ready to die, let's say, then finally he started to talk a little more, But I remember I did also, because it was so hard for my dad to talk to me straight, that I asked one of my friends, to interview my dad. So I got all the tapes, and that's where also I had like much more details, of what happened with my dad. And you know what? It's going to be out in September for my birthday, I hope. I wrote a book, biography book, about my story, my dad's story, my family stories, my mother, and it's also for my son, because I'm the only one now. I'm the old timer. So, I'm the one who can tell the stories for my knowledge, for what I know about, what happened. And so that's why it's so precious that I had that tapes, because with that tapes, I could, because I knew that if I was talking to my dad, like I said, straight, to ask him like different things, he wouldn't say so.
So you feel like in releasing this book, just this story, you think that might be relieving, sort of cathartic in a way, to, help you maybe answer some questions that have been unsolved in terms of just the emotional complexity of your relationship with your dad?
Yeah, and it's way behind now, like I said, I forgive everyone, you're not supposed to keep some sort of anger or, to be mad at. I mean, I mean, these people, they passed away, you know, and like I said, you know, I knew why my dad could turn on, like, you know, turn on crazy, just because it was from the pain, of course, you know, but on the top of it, you know, it was because of the alcohol, you know, and like I said, when you don't know how to use drugs, because you can smoke like a little doobie once in a while, why not? You know, you can have like a little beer, like a little drink, you know, if you enjoy yourself, it's okay. But if you go too much, you know, on that direction, if you don't know how to use it, and if you drink too much, if you smoke too much, if you take cocaine, whatever you're going to take too much, you know, you're going to go nuts. Because I mean, and I say that for the people who listen, you know, it's like, don't believe that you're stronger than the drugs and the alcohol. They're going to put you down no matter what. You know, that's the word up, you know, that's the way it goes for anybody, you know, even the strongest person you can find is going to go down. And that's what happened with my dad. So, like I said, it's behind now, you know, I forgive, you know, rest in peace. You know, I send all my love, you know, all to the old, to all the people, to all my family who just left me somehow. And the book, you know, it's more like an example also. It could be like an adventure book because it's a crazy story book also, you know, and even me, I almost turned on as a fucking gang. Sorry for my French.
No, you're good.
You're fine.
It's a podcast where you can curse.
Yeah, you know, as a bad boy, as a gangster, you know, because mostly when my parent left, when they passed away, you know, I was lost, man. I was like by myself. And I said, hey, is it part of my destiny somehow, you know, that me too? And I said, no, fuck that. I said, I want to be an artist. I want to tell a story. I want to entertain people. I want to give them emotions. That's what I want to do, you know? And mostly also after I had my son, we got separated very early, and I had my son when I was only 22, so it was very young. And my son really helped me also to be like a better person. And right now, I'm trying to be the better version of myself. Get day after day, I'm trying to get better. So that's why, you know, all the people, and even some friends and some people, that's funny because even the people in the family matters, that's people, all the guys that I'm fighting with, they were like my students somehow, you know, and now they're very like superstar fighting choreographer or whatever, you know, and they were not that cool, you know, they stabbed me like a little bit on my back, you know, but even those guys, and they were good now, they didn't give me the change of my money. It's like that, you know, but I don't want to keep the anger, the to be, you know, to feel bad about all that. Now I'm getting older, and I still the way I feel about all that, it's I have so many things to show, so many things to do still that I prefer to keep my energy for that.
Wow. I mean, so the people that we see you fighting in that scene, if I understand correctly, those were your stunt coordinating students in real life, and uh you just in real life you just kind of fell out with them, just things there was what I'm curious. I mean, as much as you want to tell me, I'm curious to hear more. Like, why did that happen?
You know, you always want to be better than your teacher somehow, you know, and they decided to, you know, to do their own. And for some reasons, we were not agree no more. But just the way it turned at the time, it was because me, I also decided to stop to be a stunt coordinator, fighting choreographer, even if I still do once in a while for video games, you know, because I realized also that to direct violence, fight, to even me, most of the time they use me to be the bad guy, the I couldn't deal with the violence no more. You know, I get sick of it somehow. I said, wow, my goodness, they always see me to be the bad guy, to be violent, to be part of the violence in films. And I couldn't deal with that no more. I was like, come on, guys, you know, I can be a lover. I can be a shy. I can be gay. I can be whatever you want. You know, I'm an actor. I'm here to share and to show like different, you know, part of my personalities and emotions. And And so that's why, I said, well, I gotta get rid of it, not totally, completely, but at least, to take a break from all that. And those guys, as soon as, as the king left, somehow they took my place. But I said, maybe it will be nice, even if we were like, like separated for some reasons, maybe you can come back to me and say, hey, Nicky, thank you. Because today, if we have the success, it's also like a little bit because of you.
I wonder if there's some of that animosity that your students had for you, if that came out in that scene that we saw at that Family Matters episode, or was it all professional?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. No, of course. At the time, it was okay, and they could thank me, because it was like, not even after like a couple months or like maybe a year and a half or something like that, they were already working in an American TV series. What about that? That's cool, and different films, movies, and theater, like different stuff.
So, do you have any memories working? I know Rich Carell directed that episode, and I think you may have had a brief moment with Jalea White, maybe Kelly Shang-Han Williams, Stefan and Laura in that scene. Any memories that pop out of you?
Now, since you remind me that I was working for that, TV show for the Family Matters, I remember that we didn't act together, but at least, we talked together, and they were like very nice people. So the director and all the different actors, there. So that's the souvenir that I have now, since you remind me that I was working on that show.
Anything that you would change from that scene? Did you watch it afterwards and be like, oh God, this part of the fighting could have been a little bit more intense, or no regrets?
They asked also the director to be not too tough, on the fight. And we had to make it like some sort of funny fight. So that's what we did. And no, I cannot really complain about what we did. It was now, and mostly because one of my friends sent me the episode, so I saw the part of the episode and the fight. And I think we did not too bad. It was like 30 years ago, almost like 30 years ago on the top of it. So no, we did quite good. And that was like fitting exactly on, what the director wanted.
So it sounds like, I mean, were you were local to France? You were living in France still at that time, right? Or, yeah. So they just kind of they wanted to make it an authentic experience with with the French guys fighting, and I mean, it looks like they just kind of scouted out to. So it looks like that show. Did the episode actually take place in France? Yeah, I guess it was in Paris, not.
Well, very close to the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arch, right behind. I don't know if you can see it, probably. Yes, so it was like very typical, like close to the Arc de Triomphe, close to les Champs-Élysées. So that was very, very Parisian, not even French, Parisian, that scene. And
do you get, I mean, I know that safety is key with stunt coordinating and stuff like that, but say for that particular scene that you did, is there still at least a minor injury you got to be aware of that you have no choice but to encounter? Like, oh, maybe, your knees hurt or your elbows hurt a little bit from the intensity, like, or is it just all completely spotless, after you?
It was. For that scene in particular, no, we didn't get hurt, no, nothing, it was just like a lot of fun. And you have like some sort of pressure also, because we were younger and we were working with an American TV show. So you get like that kind of tension, and you just want to be good, and you just want to, and like I said, on the top of it, you're young. So maybe we had like a couple bruises or whatever, a couple of scratch. It was nothing compared to some of the stunts that I did after. Yeah, and much more dangerous. You can get hurt, you can really hurt yourself. Even if you get prepared the best you can, there is always like a risk, to get hurt. That's part of the job. When you get imagine bump into a car, or when you jump from the seven floors or whatever, even if you get like a airbag, some older mats and stuff, yeah, you really can get hurt. You can really hurt yourself. But on this one, no, it was all good.
And I know you said you took control of the stunt coordinating. I think there was some French dialogue as well. Is that something that the American writers can put in, or is that something where they just gave you complete control because you're local to the area?
They give us like the direction, what they wanted, and
Right.
this can you just some sort of improvise. So what we did, with all the guys, that I, under my wing at the time, I told the director, I said, can we have like some sort of, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, just to make sure that we're going to throw the right lines. I know exactly what you want now, but just give us like a little time just to get prepared. And like this, the improvisation is going to be even better. And that's what happened.
Hmm. Andrew, do you have anything?
I do. So when you have gone through your career doing all the stunt work, fight coordination, acting, and modeling, have you discovered anything about yourself? And excuse me, has that talent helped you learn more about the way you like your life to be?
That's a good question. Yeah, of course. Of course, because mostly acting. Acting, you know totally you every time you play a character, a part, but it's part of you. So even if you're very violent, for example, when I was doing the Bourne Identity, the Brotherhood of Wolf, the whatever, all the different films that I did when I was playing the bad guy. So even if you're like a nice person, you're gonna go deeply inside you to find the bad, the violence, the anger, and all that. And every time you do like, but not only, I mean, because violence is one of the worst emotion you can throw as an actor. And if I still do, when I'm doing my acting, when I'm doing all the process to be a part, to be a character as an actor, it's crazy. Well, that really depends the way you do. But for myself, I've been, yeah, learning a lot of myself, and there is like it's like open doors. You open different doors that probably when you do like a regular normal job that you're not gonna open. And as an actor, it's crazy how you can find like different things from the inside of you that you can use, and it's maybe going to be useful when you're back into reality, the real Nicky, let's say. And yeah, and that's why I still do like what I do, as an actor. When they give me the chance to work, every time I'm like, I feel so grateful for that, because it's like I said, you're not totally you. You use who you are to be someone else. So it's very schizophrenic. Somehow, you can turn. You see, like Heath Ledger, for example. Some people like that, probably they hurt themselves because they went too far,
Yeah.
probably inside to look for different things that were like too close from their childhood, or I don't know what happened, and like and so it's the same. We were talking about it, about my dad and mom. But as soon as you're gonna use too much alcohol and drugs, you see the result. You die. Simple as that. It's like a slow suicide somehow. And you're gonna hurt yourself. Never forget that you play as an actor. That's important. Just remember that you are playing as a kid. That's for me. It's like just keeping in mind. That's the good mindset. That there is that side, inside me who still want to play, to have fun, and that's what I do basically. And at the same time, and I join you on that. You learn more about yourself. Definitely.
You brought up Heath Ledger, and that actually reminded me. So Heath Ledger did a Joker. Also, Joaquin Phoenix did a Joker, and his Joker movie got a lot of criticism because Joaquin, I mean, essentially he's a method actor, and he was pretty. He was trying to find that authenticity when he was doing those stun scenes. I don't think he really took the advice of like a safety concerned stunt coordinator. So as an actor and stunt coordinator yourself, I don't know if you've seen that movie. Like, what do you think of those kind of actors who don't necessarily have that training, who just think like, I'll figure out this fight scene based on it feels real to me, as opposed to taking appropriate steps to make sure that I and my partners are safe in the scene?
That's also a good question. That's what that really depends. I do understand, and I do it myself sometimes to push myself like a little too much, but not too far. I don't know. There's like a little nuance, right? It's. I do understand. Sometimes you need to get there to find the right emotion to take that risk. But like I said, you can go like a little too much, but not like a little too far. And the Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger. Joaquin Phoenix is still here. Heath Ledger is not. So probably Joaquin Phoenix took it like a little too much, but it's incredible because his Joker is just like amazing. Mostly when you pass right after Heath Ledger, you really got to find something else also because everyone's gonna do to compare. What Heath Ledger did, and same as Jack Nicholson. When he did the first Joker, he was also incredible. And the three different Jokers, they're quite different and quite similar. At the same time, they got some sort of same vibes, but it's different, and they didn't take the same risks. So I guess Heath Ledger went like way too far, and probably that pushed him to end his life. Joaquin Phoenix is very good on what he did. I really liked also his version of the Joker. But like I said, you got to make that difference about that little too much and a little too far. But I do respect. It's why not? Some actors they need to go like over the age, just to cross the line a little, just to make sure that they're gonna get to where they want. But you take the risk. So you don't know what's going to happen. If you hurt yourself for real, it's, why not? Why not? But me, I still want to be here for quite a little while. So, I still got stuff to show. So I do understand because mostly when you do stunt, like I said, you take the risk. So I can go there also. But that crossing line, mostly when you get older, you be careful even more, I guess.
I imagine, yeah. You had mentioned the Bourne Identity earlier. Yes, so you did have experiences with the Bourne Identity with Matt Damon and Hitman with Vin Diesel. Can you talk about what your roles were in that and just how the overall experience was?
For the Bourne Identity, I was the first crazy killer. The blonde crazy killer, gets to the apartment in Paris trying to kill Jason Bourne, and I fell. And that's why I decided to, before he killed me, to kill myself, jumping through the window. And it was quite crazy to do that. I did it only once, and it was good for me because it was very scary. And but instead of that crazy stunt, it was one of my great. It's some sort of. It's a hit somehow. It's probably the most iconic part that I did because it was also like almost like 25 years ago, and the people they're still talking about it. I got some people coming up to me still, like Nicky, we love that film, and mostly you're part of Castel, blah blah blah, and this and that, and I'm like, wow, because what we did with Matt, and maybe we were not like totally conscious about it, that we changed the game of fighting. I don't know if I'm very clear, what I say, but when you see John Wick, when you see the last James Bond, when you see all the different people, they get really inspired about what we did, on the Bourne Identity, and it's the way we fight. It's very credible somehow, and I think it's not only the choreography by itself, but what we broke, in that fight, which is the emotion and the acting. So it was like something very different about what we saw before that fight. So, and the story also from the novel from Robert Lovelock, the book is incredible. And before I did the Bourne Identity, I knew Robert Lovelock, and I read the book, and I'm so proud to be part still, like I said, because it's crazy to think after 25 years that the people, they still love that film. It's on TV every year on different channels. You still got the Bourne, and it's like, wow, it was a great experience, really, and I really hope. And if people, producers, I'm still like in a good physical condition. If you want to use me to be back, on track and do the same kind of stuff, use me now. In 10 years, I will be too old. So now I need some more violence. I need to be that kind of scenes.
How about Hitman?
Oh, Hitman. Yeah, I'm one of the agents. And it's funny because they choose me also because it's almost the same kind of fight and ambiance that we do there, and it's probably because, yeah, they like me on the it was the Fox behind the production Fox, and yeah, they gave me the part for that probably because they like what I did on the Bourne Identity, and it was quite similar. So yeah, except that I had no hair. They shed me totally, completely, and had that uh, cut bar. So I was playing at the time also because I'm not playing video games no more. I'm just doing the motion capture, to be part of the video game industry, but I'm not playing no more. But yeah, at the time I was playing on a Hitman. So also for me, yeah, that was nice to be part of that film. The first one. I didn't see the second one, and it was Timothy Olyphant on the first one, but the second part, it's someone else, another.
Were you did you want to be in the second one? Were you asked to be in the second one, or I don't know, like
Guy on the first one.
Yeah.
So
oh,
even if
all right.
yes, it was hard to be one not. Sometimes they can bring you back for some reasons because you got some sort of crazy powers, or like in the Marvel, or but like superheroes. But no, on the second one they didn't ask me for nothing.
You anything to share about Matt Damon and Vin Diesel from your observation on the set, working with them or near them? I've heard that Matt Damon is a pretty nice guy. Vin Diesel, it depends on who you talk to. So anything that you could share with working on the same movie set as those actors?
Vin Diesel, it was on Babylon A.D. because Timothy Olyphant was on Hitman.
Mm.
To make it clear. Well, let's briefly talk about Vin Diesel, I guess.
Okay. Oh, now I got my ears wide up.
As usual. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It was so complicated between Matthew Kassovitz and Vin Diesel. They were like not getting along at all, and it was like crazy Babylon A.D. That's why it's not even a good movie because it was between the different producers, it was the Fox also on the top of it. So that's very funny because I was working on Babylon A.D and the Hitman at the same time. And we were shooting Hitman in Bulgaria, in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. And I was going back to the Czech Republic for Babylon A.D. I don't know, man. I can understand that even the ambiance was so weird for Babylon A.D. And because of Mathieu and Vin Diesel, because I don't know, they were fighting all the time. So my relation with Vin Diesel was none, let me tell you, man. And I was like, just one step back watching the show, like that crazy show on the set that just those people just fighting. We were waiting. They had like 2 months and a half late to finish the film, They spent so much money for the retakes and this and that. It was absolutely like a disaster. It was crazy. So that's the souvenir that I have, and I'm not gonna go too deeply with Vin Diesel because I just don't know, man, and maybe he changed, maybe he's different, with different directors, you can hold a beast. But on this experience, to be part of it and to watch it like a spectator, I was like, wow, man. Mostly when you know that they spend so much money to do a film, it's like, come on, guys, can you just like act like adults, somehow. Now concerning Matt Damon, wow, man, like I say, he's such a sweetie, man. He's so smart. He's a smart man. Really, he's like very intelligent and deeply he loves what he does. So I remember we had to rehearse for 5 weeks and a half for the fight, like 5 times a week. And even when we were on the set, sometimes he was like doing something totally different, but he was asking me to come evening time to do some more rehearsals and we spent some good time together. He's just like such a pro and such a sweetie, such a nice man, very smart, and it's incredible. And at the same time, he's a huge, big star, and he's still like very grounded. You know, he's like a normal guy, and that's what I like. When I say normal, like just like a casual, it's a typical friend you want to have. It's someone you want to share some time to be with, and also because, like I said, yeah, he's a smart dude and very gentle, very nice, very polite, very normal. Because that's the problem with this business. Sometimes you think you're somebody else just because you're famous, and that's very stupid. I understand that really changed the way of life you're gonna have because sometimes you're gonna be on the streets. The people they're gonna recognize you. They're gonna ask for autographs. That really gonna change your life. So I understand that it's very hard to just make sure that you're not going to turn and go totally crazy. But that's also the way you choose your life. When you start to do that kind of business, you know that one day maybe you're going to be that famous. So you better have some people around, some family, some real friends, and you need to think about it that to face the reality that your reality is going to change. And I know it's not that easy, but some people they can really success and do it like Matt Damon, for example. This guy is incredible because he's one of the major star we can have, in this planet, and at the same time, he's like just a regular guy. So, yeah, I love Matt Damon.
I love that. Andrew, any last questions?
So I have watched The Bourne Identity 40 times in my life, just so you know. I love that fight scene. It's amazing. My question that I have for you, because you don't work with video games and motion capture, is that harder than acting in real time? And when you do motion capture, do you feel like you can go even bigger than you would?
Oh, that's a very good question also because not everyone can work on the motion capture. Because imagine you have that outfit, very strange with all the capture, on you. You look absolutely ridiculous. It's not sexy at all. And you ain't got no furnitures, no nothing around except like big, big, big production. Sometimes they're gonna, build like a boat or whatever. But most of the time it's very empty somehow. And it's very hard to find the right emotions to pretend that okay, here is a door, here is this, here is that, and you gotta just imagine what I like about, and I was talking before about the tribe. I don't know about you, but you remember when you were a kid, you had like a piece of food or whatever, and you were sure that it was a gun, it was a heart, it was whatever, a knife or something, just because your imagination as a kid, was so sharp. Motion capture, it's quite the same. You gotta imagine a lot of different things because like on the set, a movie set, TV sets or whatever, you got the real clothes, you got the different furnitures, you got a set, a real set. A motion capture set, and you gotta play even more, with the kid you get inside. And that's what I like about. I'm having a lot of fun when I do that, and I'm not too bad at hope. They still use me, so I might be good.
Is there any video game that's out now or that you've seen or that's coming out that you want to be a part of and do motion capture for?
Well, I don't even. I'm doing. We did already one day of shooting a month and a half ago, and we're gonna do some more in September, but I just don't remember the name of the video game. I'm so sorry. But lately, it was like 2 years ago, I did two different video games. Plague Tale, the second part of Plague Tale, and also Vampire the Masquerade. And I love Vampire the Masquerade. It's a franchise also. And they did one video game like 15 years ago, something like that. And finally, 15 years after, they did some sort of prequel, whatever you want to call it, you know. And it was a lot of fun because in that video game, I was one of the main characters, so a vampire, but I did a werewolf, I did girls, I did side, I did everything. So which is great because as an actor, it's crazy. Like I said, you can be a woman, you can be a werewolf, you can be a zombie, you can be anything. And you don't need the makeup, you don't need the clothes, you don't need nothing except you should know what you're gonna throw in front of the different camera, you know. So it was a lot of fun.
Awesome, awesome. I just have one final question for you.
Yeah.
As you were going through your acting and modeling career, I know you talked about how they would constantly put you in a role of being violent, a fighter, or something like that. What would be your dream role, or what was the role you were looking for to be your dream?
I don't know if it if it's gonna happen one day. To be a first character, you know, to be the main character, you get more time to express different things, let's say. So I hope one day I get one main big part, you know, and that's very, I just don't know exactly to answer that question because I really want to do so many different things. I can feel that inside me, I get so many different things to show, nothing to prove no more, you know, because I've been in this business for so long, so I don't have to prove myself no more. But to show things, oh yeah, it's like the magic hat. You know, I get like different rabbits, different colors. You know, and yeah, I wish I could, you know, show the people because I do that first. You know, of course, to entertain. You know, I'm doing it for the people, but now the production people, they can trust me. I'm sharp, you know, I'm very sharp. I've been working for so long now. And like I said, I ain't got nothing to prove, but so many things to show. So it's very hard to be like totally precise on what I want to show. It's like, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see, you know, for the future. But yeah, I still trust myself and I'm very so confident, you know, of what I can show. I just wait until the right director also. That's very important to share that with someone who trusts me also and want to help me to show what I can do for the future.
I noticed you have a David Bowie poster behind there. Are you a big fan?
On the top of it, but it's my behalf, my lovely woman. You know, she's directing right now like a very indie film that we're shooting together. I'm part of it as an actor, you know, on that. And there is on the back, let's say, of the story, something with David Bowie. So that's why we got a couple posters, you know, on the back. It's for inspiration. And she's gonna use like different things about, you know, David Bowie for that story.
How can we keep in touch with the film and know when it's coming out? I mean, we would love to see it.
Oh, well, let's keep in touch.
All right. I love that.
Oh, yeah, and I can also send you if she want, because it's the past 5 years we've been directing like different shorts. You know, they still traveling in different festivals, and it's our creation. So it's also to also answer your question. I'm still waiting for the different directors, but what we do until we get the main parts and stuff, and working with different directors for bigger roles and what we do, it's our creations, and we wrote our own stories. It's very indie. You know, we spend our own money, you know, to do that different films. And I will send you the links of the Chocolate Monsters, Jane and Elvis, as you can see, I don't know.
Yeah, your shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's you'll see. And Confrontation. Oh, Confrontation is probably the darkest film that we did. It's about the death penalty, and all the different films, they are in English also.
Your shirt, the Jane and Elvis shirt. What is that? Is that Elvis Presley and Jane something? Like what?
Jane something, but it's Elvis Presley. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Nicky Naude, thank you so much for being with us. And for you listening, I urge you to just look up his IMDb. I mean, the credits that this guy has is just insane. It's so wonderful to be talking to you. And is there any way that people can like directly keep in touch with you? Do you have a social media? Do you have a website?
Of course, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. That's it about the social networks. I'm not going crazy on TikTok and this and that. It's going too fast for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like pretty much like in my time, but I'm an old timer for some things. And let's say like Facebook and Instagram, it's enough, So yeah, you can find me there, and this is it. Yeah.
What is your username on Facebook and Instagram, just so people know how to find you?
Nicky Naude, Nicky Naude, Nicky Naude, whatever, you're gonna find me, or yeah.
NICKY first name and last name is Naude. And on the E, is that what you call an accent aigu or something?
Yeah, aigu, yeah. With a little accent, at the end of the Naude with the little aigu.
Yeah. My family's Haitian, Nicky, so French being a secondary language. Yeah. I don't speak it, but I know little things like that.
You can understand a little, or you don't?
I little bits of what I was taught in French class, but I cannot do it fluently.
Yeah, well, at least if you don't understand, and you should try to learn some more just to share it with your parents. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you were on Zoom with my mom right now, she'd have a full-blown French conversation with you because she was born and raised in Haiti, so she knows it.
Cool. Say hello to your mom and all your people.
All right.
And thank you so much, for the invitation. It was really, it was a lot of fun being with you two guys. Really, it's to share, who I am, and with no filter. It's it's when you're getting older, it's like I said, you ain't got nothing to prove, just everything to show and to share. And this is all about me. Like I said, I love to be an actor, but I think in real life, I'm not acting. I'm just being.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great that's a great line to go out on. I can't even think of anything better. I love that. Nicky, thank you, man, and have a great rest of your day in beautiful Normandy. And we'll certainly keep in touch via email. We'll let you know when this is coming out.
Yeah, and I will send you all the different links, for our films.
Love it.
Please. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, same here.
Hey, perfect.
All right. Take care, Nicky.
Hey, you take care, guys, and we keep in touch.
All right. Absolutely. Most definitely. Have a good one. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that was fantastic.
That was a great interview. I sat in silence through most of it because I feel like he was reading my life to me and encouraged me so much. So I felt very encouraged and motivated after that conversation.
So what about what he was saying, like, really spoke to you?
To be somebody who's dealt with crime, drugs, all kinds of crazy crap that has just happened in my life, just trying to survive through that and seeing how it changes you, it builds character. I mean, to have my own dream and aspirations and to finally be following them after dealing with so much adversity, to hear somebody else talk about it in the way he did with him, his parents, and just his life in general, I was like, damn, okay, I don't feel bad anymore. Because I had this like weight on my shoulders where I'm like, I should be at this point in my life doing this, that, and the other. And it's been the last 4 weeks where I've had to learn that that's not true. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about what I'm doing with my life. It's what work am I happy putting out? And I just needed to hear that from him today.
Yeah, that is very profound. I like that. Were your parents also gangsters and on the run?
They were on the run.
Oh. All right. Well, this is information that I'm just learning about you right now. Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to inquire more when we get off the air. But yeah, no, Nicky Naude, no day. For those of you listening, please again look him up. He's wonderful. Watch that episode if you haven't. Season 8, episode 1, part 1 of Paris Vacation. Certainly a different Family Matters than the one that we're watching for now, season 2. So we'll get into that conversation when we get to it. But yeah, if you want to keep in touch with us, thedeliciousrecap@gmail.com. When you're hearing this, I think that all of our social media handles will either be at Delicious Recap or at The Delicious Recap. I don't want to get into Instagram and Facebook being stressful about the username, but look us up at Delicious Recap or at The Delicious Recap on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok. Am I forgetting one?
From what I've seen, Threads, we got Threads too.
Yes.
But from what I know and from what I have searched, if you put in The Delicious on every social media, we come up as the top result.
Good.
Not many people are using The Delicious next to each other. So you'll find us and you'll see what we look like. We got you.
Good. Love it. So yeah, all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, Threads. I think that's all of the YouTube. You just find us, just search The Delicious, as Andrew said, and you should be able to find The Delicious Recap.
If you follow our YouTube, you better subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Don't just watch the videos. Subscribe.
Yes, because you'll be kept in touch of when we have a new video coming up. We always have our new episodes released on YouTube automatically. So yes, thank you for saying that. Subscribe on YouTube. That really means a lot to us. Okay, would you mind signing off so brilliantly? And please, have the sign off reflect how Nicky has made you felt.
He has made me feel like, okay, I'm obsessed with the Bourne Identity one, so I had to keep myself from fangirling because I've seen that fight 14 times and the blood in it is delicious. And the deliciousness of that will ring